do it. Nick Clark's gonna throw Robert the Rhino over the top rope. Pure strength. Can he win the Royal Rumble? And he does it. Fuck off, Robert. Oh. This Sunday, I'm coming out at number 30, and I'm gonna win the damn Royal Rumble. Not only that, then I'm gonna go to WrestleMania and take my championship. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let's preview and let's predict the Royal Rumble, which is coming up this Sunday. I know that you would not know because the build has been absolutely terrible. But the Royal Rumble is coming up this Sunday, and let's talk about and preview what exactly we can expect. We're going to preview and predict every single match because that is what we do. I'm going to give you my analysis. I'm going to tell you who's winning both Royal Rumbles. All this and then some from the Land of Cheaters, Minute Maid Park of the Houston Astros. Let's preview the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is arguably one of the most popular pay-per-views of the year, and rightfully so. Regardless of how bad the product has been, the product will be, the Royal Rumble always gives you generates some type of excitement within you just because of the Royal Rumble itself. You know, there's something special about the buzzer going from 10-0, getting a surprise, a return from injury, or a debut of a superstar or whatever have you. There is something always special about the Royal Rumble. So while I think that the build this year has been pretty boring and just not exciting whatsoever, that's what we're here to talk about, folks. We're going to preview the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is coming up Sunday night from Houston, and it is a controversial time to be at Minute Maid Park because of the Houston Astros scandal. That is going to have absolutely zero effect on the wrestlers as well because it's nothing to do with it, but it's just an interesting thing if you're a baseball fan and you happen to be watching this wrestling preview as well. We have, from a glance at a distance, we have a pretty good card that is to be expected from the Royal Rumble coming in on Sunday. And you know, I do have a friend there, so I hope that he has a ball, and he should have a ball. It's going to be a very good show, I'm assuming. I hope he decides to take his bathroom break at the right time, and because this looks like this could be a much longer show. We could be subjected to 6+ hours of wrestling action on Sunday night. However, there are numerous surprises that we could probably expect. There's two right off the bat that hit me on the edge. I'm going to talk about that when I preview the men's Royal Rumble match. As far as the women's Royal Rumble match, I'm going to talk about that separately. So I have the card listed in front of me on CBS Sports, and I'm going to go through. This is not chronological order. Again, there's no telling of what matches are going first. I think that there's a good chance we could see the women's Royal Rumble open up the show, because with a match like a Royal Rumble, you kind of need a breather in between. Like you would never put two Royal Rumbles back to back because that's just insane. Where I would expect the men's Royal Rumble to close out the show and the women's to probably open it. Again, you want that gap in between. They could put it on second or third, but I think the best spot for the show, just to get it to start off hot, would probably be maybe put the women's Royal Rumble as the opening in this. But, you know, the first match that is to go over is a match that kind of was generated out of absolutely nowhere, and that is Shorty G, which I hate calling him that. I'm going to call him Chad Gable, is going to be taking on Sheamus in a singles match at the Royal Rumble. Now, Sheamus just came back, and again, somebody mentioned, well, there's a chance Chad Gable could win this via roll-up. Yeah, there is, but, you know, there's a chance it could rain tomorrow if you check the weather. I don't see it. I don't think there's any need for it. Sheamus just came back. You know, you're not going to have him lose already, especially on a pay-per-view such as the Royal Rumble. I don't think it'll be a squash match because I could see that this could be somewhat of a decent match. So, but I am going to pick Sheamus to win this match. You know, and Chad Gable was kind of on a roll a little bit prior to this, and I think Sheamus is going to be that cock block a little bit. So I do not see Chad Gable beating Sheamus. It is possible, but again, this is a match where some people may elect to take a bathroom break. I don't really see it being a squash match. That is also a possibility. That is not out of the realm either. But again, Sheamus just coming back. You know, if they want to build him back into some type of stardom or what have you, I'm gonna go with Sheamus to win this match because that's just really what makes sense. Championship title on the line. Andrade Cien Almas, who is finally starting to get some of the attention that he really does deserve. versus Humberto Carrillo for the U.S. title. Now, they do have chemistry together. We have seen them in a ring before. But the only problem with it is, I'm reading on here, in a show that thrives on big moments, Carrillo's heroic title win would even the score and would fit beautifully. Would fit beautifully. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that Carrillo winning the title would do him any justice, really. Again, it would cement him as a threat and give him a moment. But I still think that you should keep that title on Andrade Cien Almas. I don't think that there's anybody else that really should be taking it right now. Carrillo, again, this could be one of the better matches of the night. But what's going to come down to if they elect to let these men go, and that's one of the problems that I have is that WWE, and they tend to do it with the cruiserweights, they don't let them go. Now, they don't have to have a 30-minute match, but Andrade Cien Almas and Humberto Carrillo could easily put on a 10 to 12-minute match that is really, really good. As far as the pre-show goes, I really hope it doesn't get put on the pre-show. But, this match doesn't really give me a vibe where Andrade would lose the title. I have Andrade retaining the championship over Carrillo, but this could be a very good match, and this would be a match I'd want to watch your eyes out for. But again, they need to give them time to properly develop anything in this match because, again, Vince McMahon, give him 2 minutes, and what are you gonna do in 2 minutes? It's just ridiculous. But I'm going with Andrade Cien Almas to retain his championship. Now, this match coming up, we've seen about 85 different times in the last 3 months. And I don't care because you don't care. This is what we call a bathroom break match. For those of you that are new to the wrestling community, it is a match that where you go and use the restroom because you have no interest in it. That is Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin, King Corbin. Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin have fought about 85 different times over the last couple of months, and each time I found myself caring less. Now, their chemistry isn't possible, isn't terrible, but again, it's just a match that we don't need to see, and it's just not relevant. And a lot of this is boiling over because of dog food. So let that sink in. I don't care. I really don't care. I just don't care. You could see this is a Falls Count Anywhere match, by the way. So again, expect the crowd some type of factor in this. And again, there's no DQ in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So there's a good chance that you could see Baron Corbin cheating his way to win. A lot of people are projecting, and I'm going to get to it in a minute, a lot of people are projecting Roman Reigns to win the Royal Rumble, which I'm kind of leaning towards. So it would make sense almost in a way that he doesn't win this. I don't think Roman Reigns winning twice in one night would really be necessary. So I think that somehow, some way, Baron Corbin is going to use some type of tactics or cheating, and Baron Corbin's going to go over in this Falls Count Anywhere match to Roman Reigns. Now, it doesn't mean that just because Corbin loses, that Roman will lose the Rumble, but I also don't see Roman Reigns falling twice in one night. Vince McMahon is he's got the Roman Reigns-itis. So there's no, you're not going to see Roman Reigns lose twice in one night. I think that if Corbin is to win this match, it's a good indication of Roman Reigns probably winning the Rumble. If Roman Reigns does win, I still think that he has a chance to win the Rumble because I wouldn't put it past me to have him win both of them because that's just something they would do. But I'm going to think that King Corbin's going to find a way just due to the fact that there's no disqualification. If it was a singles match, I'd pick Roman, but I'm going to pick Corbin just based on that fact alone. You give Corbin the win. Roman doesn't look as strong. You could have Roman look strong, but he also doesn't get pinned clean. And everybody wins in that instance. So I think that they're going to have Corbin winning. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Now, this match, again, Lacey Evans has somehow taken off as a face in this company. And this is the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is going to be between Bayley and Lacey Evans. Now, I'm not expecting much from this match. Again, this could be your designated bathroom break match. And that's not an insult to either of these women. But I don't see any way of Lacey Evans winning this match. I don't think that benefits anybody. She does not rub off as a believable champion. She may have the look and she may have certain things that benefit her, but I don't think for Lacey Evans to win the SmackDown Women's Championship, I just don't think that that's the right call, and I think a lot of people can attest and agree with me on that. I think that the right thing for them to do is just keep the title on Bayley. Again, you know, they have this Sasha Banks and Bailey heel-like feud waiting in the distance, and they just don't want to capitalize on it. That's something that they should have done a long time ago, but they have not, for whatever reason, elected to do so. You know, they had so many chances. I think it was Mania 33 in Orlando where they could have had the Sasha Banks and Bailey, um, you know, that would have been great again because they were built through NXT and that's in Orlando, and it would almost be like home field advantage for the both of them. So you keep the title on Bailey. That is a must. You do not, do not give the title to Lacey Evans. I swear to God, I'm going to be with my friend. If they give the title to Lacey Evans, I'm going to put my fist through the goddamn wall because there's no need for it. They're still going to keep running with the Bailey-Sasha Banks combo, and when the time is right, I think going towards WrestleMania, you have the match between Sasha and Bailey for the title, and you give it to Sasha. But they have to pull the trigger, and they have to do it right, and that is sometimes not in WWE's best interest. But Bailey is definitely who I'm going with. I don't see Evans winning. It's just not necessary. It's not necessary. The next match is a women's match that could be really good, actually. And I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of this year it comes down as to one of the best women's matches of the year. Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defending her title. She's had the title for so long, I don't even know how long she's had it for now, against Asuka. Now, this feud has been built somewhat decent. We've seen a variety of ways as to how this feud was built. But when it's all said and done, I just don't think Asuka winning again would make sense. It could happen, but I think that if WWE wants to think long-term, the best thing for them to do is have Becky and Asuka have a really good match, which I'm expecting this to be one of the better matches of the night. Have that, and then have Becky retain at the end somehow, some way, and then you import Shayna Baszler or Ronda Rousey. I think Ronda Rousey would probably be the best idea here. You import Ronda Rousey into the category, and Ronda Rousey's name is going to come up again on this little preview. You import Ronda Rousey or Shayna Baszler into the mix right after the Royal Rumble, and that is where you get your WrestleMania build, and you start to build on that, especially the Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. I feel like they had unfinished business, so I think Becky Lynch long term it would be definitely the right deal to win here. But I could definitely give these guys give these women the time to make this a good match, if you know what I'm saying. Final championship match of the night: The Fiend Bray Wyatt taking on Daniel Bryan in a strap match. I don't know why it's a strap match. You know why it's a strap match? I'm going to tell you right now why it's a strap match. Because WWE is thinking about potentially giving Daniel Bryan this win. And again, because putting it in a strap match, you make Daniel Bryan win. So you have that. And then Bray Wyatt still looks like he didn't eat a pinfall. One thing they cannot do in this Universal title match is have it be a squash match. And that is what I'm worried about. You bring Daniel Bryan back, and you bring Daniel Bryan back, like I said, on TLC, and you have him look very strong in his return. You can't have him get squashed. If Daniel Bryan loses, he loses, but you need to have Daniel Bryan bring the best out, the best he possibly can out of Bray Wyatt. Do I think that Daniel Bryan's going to win? No, but I think he's going to come this short. I think that Bray Wyatt is actually going to be in a lot of trouble, and we're going to see Daniel Bryan come this close, but he's going to fail. Bray Wyatt is going to retain the Universal title Sunday at the Royal Rumble, and that's kind of just where I am going towards with that, so I'm going to say that he retains the Universal title Sunday at the Royal Rumble. Now, there are two Royal Rumble matches. The first of two would be the women's. Now, again, we don't know. I think the worst thing they could do is put the women's Royal Rumble as the main event of the show. God forbid. I don't think it'll be bad, but I think we're going to see a lot of NXT women in the women's Royal Rumble. The The Women's Royal Rumble, to me, will probably open up the show. Now, the odds-on favorite, and I don't understand how you can have odds. How can you bet on something that's scripted on a professional standpoint? Um, I'm seeing a lot of picks for Shayna Baszler. Now, I think she'll be one of the final four, but I think Ronda Rousey is going to come back and win the Women's Royal Rumble. I just see Rousey and Baszler being in that final mix. I could also see Charlotte winning. She does not need it. Sasha Banks could really benefit from a Women's Royal Rumble win. But I think that Ronda Rousey, who's been kind of quiet, and we've heard the rumors about her, I do see Ronda Rousey actually coming back and winning the Women's Royal Rumble. So I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I know a lot of people are saying Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler would be a great pick as well. I don't have any problem with Shayna Baszler winning the Women's Royal Rumble. But it's going to be very interesting. I think that, this match could kind of go by, and a lot of people might not have that much interest in the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble, that is. But, again, it's important to look out for how does this end, because there are quite a few women that could really benefit from a Women's Royal Rumble. But I think that when it's all said and done, they'll plant the seeds. I see Rousey, and if not, since it's a Royal Rumble, I'll pick a second one. I'm going to say Shayna Baszler, and I'm going to agree with that. Charlotte doesn't need it. I could see them doing it because they do stupid shit. Charlotte does not need it. Sasha Banks could benefit from it greatly. But again, is she going to, WWE hasn't pulled the trigger on Sasha Banks in the last year, so what the hell are they waiting for? A lot of people are saying Shayna Baszler, but I am going Ronda Rousey. What is presumably the main event of the evening, and that is the second of two Royal Rumble matches, and that is the Men's Royal Rumble match. And this one could be very, very, very interesting. We know for a fact that Brock Lesnar is coming out at number 1. So I would say that the first 7 or 8 entrants are going to either be jobbers or people that are going to have no impact on the Royal Rumble, because I think that Lesnar is going to literally annihilate the first 7 or 8 people that enter the Men's Royal Rumble match. But that's where it needs to stop. You sacrifice 6, 7, maybe 8 entrants at most, at absolute most, and I think that's a lot. You don't sacrifice 15 to 16 guys and ruin an annual event to put over someone who has your championship and doesn't even show up. So that is where the line needs to be drawn. Here's the problem. You have, what I think should happen is you have Lesnar. Well, Lesnar's coming in at 1, right? Somebody mentioned Roman Reigns coming in at 9 or 10. I don't know if they're going to do that, because I don't know if they want Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar to already get their hands on each other this far away from WrestleMania. And the reason why I'm saying Roman Reigns getting his hands on him far away from WrestleMania is because I am projecting Roman Reigns to be a middle entrant in this Royal Rumble match. And I'm actually projecting him to win as well, because I think that they're going to run with the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar championship match at WrestleMania going into April. So for me, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns to win the Royal Rumble. He does not need it, but I think they can go in that election. Now, there's people that are saying Brock Lesnar could win the Royal Rumble. I think that's a huge mistake. But at the same time, there's more intrigue a little bit if you think about it, because the winner of the Royal Rumble gets a guaranteed championship match at WrestleMania. But Brock Lesnar's already the champion, so how does that work? That would be the only part of it, but I don't think that you have that happen. But that would be, I haven't had too much intrigue going into a Monday Night Raw post pay-per-view, but I think that would really add to that intrigue if we were to see Brock Lesnar win the Royal Rumble, and I'd really kind of want to wonder what would happen that next night. Just based on that alone, that's kind of where I'm headed with that. But I'm going Roman Reigns to win, and that's going to kind of begin the feud of what we're going to have to see. Reigns and Lesnar at WrestleMania, and if that was the case, Reigns would definitely be crowned champion at WrestleMania, which I'm not super against. I'd much rather have Roman Reigns be the champion than Brock Lesnar, to be honest with you. But again, it's not someone that needs it. You have guys like Drew McIntyre, Ricochet. Andrade has a match already, but guys like Drew McIntyre, guys like Ricochet, guys like Aleister Black, they could benefit so much from a Royal Rumble victory. But again, it's just agenda, and that's just how the company goes. Uh, I wouldn't put my hand through the wall if Roman Reigns won. Honestly, Roman Reigns has rubbed off on me since his return. But that's just kind of, again, where I'm really headed with that. I do got Lesnar, not Lesnar. I do got Reigns winning the Rumble on Sunday. And as far as surprises go, one last thing I want to add before I jet out of here. I'm expecting Edge to come back. My friend just landed in Houston earlier, and he said that supposedly Edge is in Houston. I do believe that. I do think that Edge will be a part of the Royal Rumble, and it's going to be great to see him because we haven't seen him in a while. Now, does that lead to Edge being more on screen? I don't know. Um, Booker T, nobody's mentioning that. Booker T's hometown is Houston, and I'm telling you right now, Booker T will be in his damn Royal Rumble. Maybe Adam Cole. We're going to get some NXT guys. So I'm looking forward to it. I just hope that they don't center it so much around Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar because there really has potential to ruin the Royal Rumble from that case. But those are my predictions, guys. Royal Rumble coming up on Sunday. We might hop on Podbeam or whatever, get a podcast going. We got other news, NFL, and all that kind of stuff coming around. But those are what I'm going with. Roman Reigns and Ronda Rousey to be a Royal Rumble winners. And you could rewind at any time to see who I picked for other things. But that's really where I'm going. I hope everybody enjoyed this preview predictions. Again, next week I'll be back with the review. And that's